The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gohmert, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the witnesses for being here today. I'm down here on the chairman's far right. Imagine that. Mayor, you're right. We do have to put faces on things, and like when I saw the president with children gathered around him, as he's often doing now, I think about the financial burden we are putting on our children. First generation in American history that is actually making things worse for future generations. Instead of sacrificing ourselves, we are spending money like crazy, and part of it is health care. We have just had Obamacare a couple of years ago pass, and now seniors are seeing the massive cuts that are affecting their ability to get health care. One of the problems, it seems, with our economy, or the overspending with the burden on health care, is that even though people in business, the chamber wants to look the other way sometimes on people coming in illegally if they're working, providing cheap labor, is that the rest of Americans are paying for the health care of those who come in if they're coming in illegally. And so the health care, it's free to those individuals, but somebody is paying it. I've just wondered about, as we hear farmers, and apparently it is essential that they have immigrant workers come in, harvest crops. We've heard that over and over. Would any of you have any problem with saying, okay, you want to bring in temporary workers to harvest your crop, then you need an umbrella health insurance policy that covers the people that you're bringing in to work temporarily? I'm looking for grounds for compromise where we could work something out so we accommodate those who need temporary workers and yet not continue to bust the system. Would anybody be offended by a requirement that an employer to bring in temporary workers provide an umbrella health insurance policy? Anybody?
Well, I would just say, Representative Gohmert, that I had not given that thought, but I do believe that that we need to address the 11 million folks who are already here, and with regard to future workforce needs.
Well, and I understand that, Mayor, but that's not the direction of my question. And since my time is limited, I do need to move on. But you've all agreed that our policy should be what is in the best interest of the United States. We've heard before there may be 1.5 billion that want to come to the United States. Obviously, that would overwhelm our system, and then nobody would want to come here because we would be bankrupt. But we often talk about all of those who cross our borders illegally, but as the chairman's pointed out before, 40% of the people who are unlawfully in the country right now came in lawfully and have overstayed their visa, their means of coming in legally. Does anybody on the panel believe we should advertise to the world, if you come in temporarily on a visa, you don't have to leave? I mean, it may sound like a silly question, but that's a concern of mine that we may be advertising. When Steve King and I had gone over to talk with folks about, and they don't like the term illegal immigration in England, they told us it's irregular migration. That sounds like something else. But anyway, whether it's irregular migration or illegal immigration, they said they have a law that provides if you come into England, you have to swear that you will not accept any government benefits for a period of 5 years. As they said, since it's all about the best interests of our country, we need to make sure people coming in contribute before they take out. Would it have a problem if we had such a prohibition? We welcome you in, whatever comprehensive agreement gets worked out to have an agreement, you don't get benefits until you're here at least 5 years contributing to the system. Anybody have a problem with that?
We have to provide medical benefits regardless of who we bring in. It's a must for every human being.
Okay, so whoever we bring in, we're going to give free health care. That's your.
You have to pay for health care. They pay insurance.
So if somebody coming in pays for it, they're not getting free health care.
It can't be free. It should be paid for.
All right, thank you.
I would also just say, Mr. Representative, that as you know, legal permanent residents right now, as I understand it, don't qualify for traditional welfare or health care. So I believe that a lot of that has been resolved by the law that's in place.
You're probably aware that we do have government agencies that actually go out and recruit people for government benefits, whether they're here legally or illegally, which is something else we need to look at. But I really appreciate your time. I see my time's expired. Thank you.